How's it going, Soul Survivors? It is your run once again, with gravity-defying salad, with what, God willing and the creek don't rise, should be the exciting conclusion to I Played a Thing, Demon Souls. Before we kick things off, I do want to apologize for not getting a video up last week. I had a lot to catch up with when I returned from my time away, and life just kinda got away from me. But I'm back, so let's do this thing. We really don't have a whole lot of distance left to cover. All that's really left is 5-2, 5-3, which won't take long at all, and then 4-4. After that, we will be able to head below the Nexus and wrap this sucker up, this time properly. Let me check my magic loadout. Looks fine. Yeah, I think this should all be in order. And now, for everybody's favorite, the slog. The depraved here are a little bit tougher, but the Dragon Longsword still takes them down very, very impressively. Yep, just as before, everything in the VOD is quite vulnerable to fire, and when we get to the next boss, it will remain true for that. Oh, the Murden Hammer. Did I even get this last run? I honestly don't remember. I think I might not have come down here. But if I did not, just in case, we can take a quick look at it. As soon as I get rid of the Zako here. The Murden Hammer, a rod-type weapon. It's able to mow down targets in a single blow, but they are difficult to handle and require both strength and skill to use. Between the priests, this weapon holds special meaning. That is actually a really good weapon. It is the favorite of quite a few Demon Souls players. Not entirely my bar of chocolate, but it's definitely good, and as the description implies, it's pretty solid for crowd control. Now, if I recall correctly, we should be able to sneak around this lumber friend without attracting attention. Make sure I have my thief ring on. Increase the quality of my grass just a little bit, just in case. Don't want to get smacked by the club and then have to heal with crescent moongrass, especially while I'm poisoned, which impairs your healing. I think we can grab this stuff without attracting his attention. Courtesy, as usual, of the thief ring. And yes, that seems to have worked out okay. And with that, the sloggiest part of the slog is complete. The best insect repellent you could ask for here is actually fire spray. It's cheap, and it kills them quite quickly because they have so few HP and are so vulnerable to fire. However, in a pinch, flamethrower will do just fine. You know, I've got all the magic in the world. Well, a couple of spells anyway, but they're appropriate spells for this region. I should probably just use them. No sense in fucking around with melee and risking another lethal fall just to take down these bucks. I've switched off from the dragon to the crescent weapon. Because even with the massive fire vulnerability of pretty much everything in the Valley of Defilement, the Crescent still hits more than reasonably hard. The wonders of a good magic stat. Whew, that damage. It's a hell of a skeeter bite. Well, it was inevitable. We'd have to tangle with a lumber friend or two eventually. Oh, got greedy. Once again, I am damn glad that this is just a regular new game. Because if it were a New Game Plus, that probably would have murdered me right through my shield. And now for his co-conspirator. Let's see if I can get within magic lock range. Yes. Now, let's try and do this a little more intelligently. And a little less impatiently. Oh, or you can just walk away. You can do that too. They're so fast, I'm a little hesitant to run a completely projectile-based fighting strategy against these guys, because they could just run up on me while I'm in my casting animation. Gotta be careful. When I am in the swamp, I cannot roll. There we go. The slog in the shanty town will not trouble us again. Of course, I'm hoping not to die, thus making that unnecessary, but you prepare. You always prepare. There goes my clever rat's ring. Makoto, get ye gone. We'll put my shield back on. And we will get out the Morion blade. Okay, hyper mode is all ready to go. I've got Firestorm in my active magic slot. Standard problems of hyper mode apply. We will try to get Firestorm off. If we do, there's a good chance we win. And if we get killed first, well, we die. Also, you will notice I have very few souls right now. That's because I did have one unsuccessful attempt at Dirty Colossus. But that one actually wasn't my fault. My phone rang and it was a call I had to take. I did get one Firestorm off before the phone went off, and it didn't kill him, but two reasons might have been for that. I'm not sure it can one-shot him, but last time it definitely didn't because A, I forgot to pull the Morion blade out, and B, I got terrible RNG, and only one of the columns actually hit him. That's really bad with Firestorm. So, hopefully this time we'll have a little better fortune. I don't think he's quite as weak to fire as the Leechmongler, but maybe we can still one-shot him. Alright there, Filthy. No fly clouds for me, thank you. Oh, there goes that pile. Alright, this time for sure. Equipment is all in order. Morion blade. Got my rings correct. Hyper mode fully engaged. Let's give this another try. Alright, my filthy friend. You remember me. That's good. Start off with a fly cannon. I like that. How about you take a little melee swing for me? That's how we do. Really? That's all it did? I'm really quite surprised by that. Oh well. We can still nuke him pretty good. Okay. Even Humble Flamethrower can blow him up pretty good. I'm not sure what happened to my Firestorm there. It seemed like only one column actually popped up. Firestorm has a thing about hitting him with only one column today. At least last time the others all went up. This time, yeah, I really only saw that one burst. I wonder if the terrain interfered with it somehow. It is kind of uneven here. Yeah, that was super weird. Yeah, well, we'll collect a little bit of treasure that's left. And a very... Oh! Let's try not to walk into the fire there, Salad. We go back to base, level, repair, all that good stuff. And then we will head for 5-3, which is just made in Astraea, so it will be no problem at all. I have a slightly different way I'm going to go about that fight this time. It should work. We'll see. Well, that's interesting. Alright, I went ahead and did all my item management and repair and all that. So, let us go ahead and grab a few levels. While the Dirty Colossus is not particularly difficult as bosses go, he does give you quite a good chunk of souls, so looks like we can get one level here, and then I can probably eat his soul to get another, because I have no particular need for Acid Cloud.
Might be mended. So the world might be out the main.
Delicious filthy soul.
Thou stand soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel.
Magic, endurance, and I think that will probably suffice for the immediate.
So the world might be mended.
Yeah, that'll do.
Art thou done? Mend
Here at the boss fog, I am only just realizing that I forgot to Nexus side, but I'm not that worried about the value defilement world tendency, and I probably won't die here anyway. This is more of a story boss than anything, really. Yeah, Garl, we know.
Leave us, slayer of demons. This is a sanctuary for the lost and wretched. There is nothing here for you to pillage or plunder. Please, leave quietly.
No deal. Alright, for the method of assault I will be using this time, job number 1 is to take out all the depraved worshipping her. I'm not doing it just to be a dick this time, there's actually a good reason. And that reason is, if you hit Astraea, which I will be doing, they all aggro, and they will very cheerfully knock you clean off the cliff, and that is a fall we would not survive. Alright, I think this is the best vantage point we have from which to shoot at Astraea, which is exactly what we're going to be doing this time. Oh, there's still one more worshipper I have to clear out. Oh, a few more downstairs too. We'll take care of that. I don't want any loose ends. Now, what I'm going to do is put on partial hyper mode. Don't really need to worry about the Ring of Magical Sharpness, but I am going to put on the Clever Rat's Ring. Can't use the Morion Blade because I'm going to have the bow in my offhand, which we will need... Oh, you know what? If I put the bow in my right hand, that might actually work. In any case, what we're going to have to do involves damaging her enough to out-heal her, and since the dying attack up status does affect arrows, at least it should, then I think it'll help with that. I might be able to do it anyway, but why take chances? Alright. Morion Blade in the left hand. bow in the right hand. I think we do get the damage boost from the Morion blade, as long as we have it in the offhand, even if we're wielding the bow with both hands. And if this works out as it should, we should be able to burst her down, and we will get a bit of extra dialogue for it.
This is our home. We have done no harm to you.
Wow, she heals fast. Looks like my aim got a little off there.
Dear God, have mercy. Is not your abandonment of us punishment enough? How long must we weather this cruel fate? Cruel Lord, what more can you possibly take from us? Dear Lord, you are too cruel. You have abandoned us. Is that not punishment enough?
So ends Astraea. Rather ignominiously this time. I always thought her entreaties and lament of how God was cruel and abandoned her was really kind of a heartbreaker. Unfortunately, it is what must be done if we're to get access to the Old One. Might as well heal up, why take chances? We don't need hyper mode for anything else here anyway. And Garl, I believe, will be of no threat whatsoever. Oh, there he is. Better get my Widow's Lotus ready. Plague is a thing here. Mr. Vinland!
Turn back, will you? I shall let no harm come to dearest Astraea. May you rot in the deepest depths of this swamp.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be happening, buddy. Yep, he just stands there with his head hanging. Failed his lady. I don't know why I cured that. I have to step into the plague for my reward anyway. And to reach the Archstone. We could put poor Garl out of his misery, but... well, hopefully he'll find a little meaning in life somewhere else. I got myself a broken sword out of storage and headed over to Ed's joint here to show you the other thing you can do with Astraea's soul, besides getting Death Cloud or the Miracle. That is the Blue Blood Sword. Can only be made from a broken sword. The White Iron Straight Sword born from the soul of the demon maiden Astraea. Endowed with the innate power of a human, it increases attack ability. A really precious person's sword. The interesting thing about this sword is that it scales with luck. I'm positive it's the only thing in the game that does that. Of course, somebody will probably remember another one and make a liar out of me. In any case, it makes using luck as your damage stat entirely a viable thing, if that's how you want to do your build. Anywho, I'm gonna go take care of a little more housekeeping and probably eat all my consumable souls, because what else am I going to do with them? And then we will head into our last proper stage, 1-4. Well, folks, I went ahead and did a little tidying up. Managed to get our shield to +9. Tried to acquire enough chunks to get it to +10, but the lizard luck just wasn't with me. But that's okay. I've also gone ahead and eaten most of our remaining consumable souls, with just a few left over for insurance. So we have got quite a stash in the bank now. Let's go ahead and get our last batch of levels, and we will head into the final challenge.
Thou seekest soul power, dost thou not?
Oh yeah.
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
Let's see.
Soul of the lost.
Definitely some magic power. Couple points of vitality. A little endurance.
So the world might be mended.
Let's see, we probably only have one more level in us. What shall we put it towards? Yeah, we'll just bump our magic power a little bit further. Oh, come on, that's so close. I gotta have enough consumables left to bump me up to that.
Art thou main?
One moment. Oh, I got all these renowned heroes. That I didn't realize. Let's see what we can get out of that. That'll definitely get us another level.
Thou then
Not two more, but one more.
soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
And we will put that into MP, I think.
Drawn from its vessel.
Well, we'd still need another 2 levels at least to get us to the next magic memory slot.
The world might be mended.
Does take quite a lot of will building in order to get those.
Art thou that main?
Oh, will you look at that? Our HP, our MP, and our endurance bars are all almost exactly the same. Well, feels nice riding into battle with a nice, balanced approach. And instead of Flamethrower, I decided to memorize Soul Light, since I don't think there are particular weaknesses to fire in the upcoming section. Well then, my friends, the restless hearts of Boletaria have huddled under Obsidian skies long enough. We're on our way.
A genuine soul to dwell on baleful grounds, glances wandering around in the darkness of the world. Clouds have closed a ring around the sky, while the old ones hear the chimes through the darkness of the world. Ooh, a genuine man will realize he must fall upon the times, while he shouldn't waste a word. Tender feet on stony ground, see the young one reach out for you, blazing the trail under Obsidian sky. Kiss the night, starlit the moon, sacred the light in the haze, reflecting within, blazing the trail. Whoa! Be still my restless heart, Obsidian's the sky. In what you look as you halt, be still restless heart. I'm on my way. Dark is the night, starlit the moon, sacred the light in the haze, reflecting within, blazing the trail. Whoa! Be still my restless heart, Obsidian's the sky. In what you look as you halt, be still restless heart.
Ostrava, my friend. It's been a long time. Sorry about that whole murdering thing that I did to you last time. It was a sacrifice to the LP gods. But this time, we'll be able to hear your last words.
Oh, it's you, is it? My father is up above. Well, what's left of him anyway? He's transformed into a fiendish demon. I began this quest in a search for truth, but it seems I was a fool to even try. Please, kill my father. In his degenerated state, he can only bring peril to the lands. This key fits the Boletaria mausoleum. Inside the mausoleum are my father's two swords, Soulbrand and Demonbrand. Use them to bring an end to this madness.
Thus ends Prince Ariona Alant of Boletaria. But of course, as we know, he's not entirely done yet. Boy's got what has to be the fastest Death to Black Phantom period in history. Oh. He can ding me right and proper through my guard. Woo. Maybe we ought to soften him up a little first. Nothing like kicking a little back. I've also got the Fragrant Ring on right now, which is helping with my magic regeneration. No, we don't want a ring out. We want this to be a proper fight. He is bleeding, which helps. Well, we'll call that a proper win. He was right on the verge of bleeding to death. Matter of fact, he probably could have bled to death before he hit bottom. I'm not going to worry about his drops. Let's just move on and be done with this. Well, by be done with this, I mean get prepped for hyper mode. Be with you in just a moment. Alright, all the components are in place. This is an appallingly dangerous move because the False King can, I guarantee, kill me through a guard with the magic damage on his weapon, especially considering I've got the Ring of Magical Sharpness on, so we're just gonna have to not get hit if we want to do the hyper mode kill. I'm pretty sure a single firestorm can kill him if you have the monk's head collar attached to all this, but of course I don't have that, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Ah, Prince Alat. The father ahead is not the father you think it is. If only you could see how truly degenerated his state is. Well, we will put both versions of King Alat to rest, one way or another. Here we go, folks. Time for the big one. Okay, we're gonna kick off with an AoE, that's fine. It's a big AoE, we've learned to be wary of that. Hey, how about a big dash? Not that big! Right, we'll get him this time. Alright, if you're gonna AoE, I'm gonna spice up. And do it with the dramatic double firestorm. Oh yeah! Meanwhile, I got a pile over here that's got to have a shit ton of souls in it. Ooh, doggies. Also, something I noticed between takes. With the Talisman of Beasts, looks like we're carrying a little mushroom. Kinda cute.
How did you defeat my precious demon? No human has an appetite for souls such as you. The rest is up to the Old One. If it is to be, then you shall be beckoned.
I think it is to be. Let's test that theory. I picked up a few more pieces of ore on that last run, so before we move on and finish this once and for all, I'll drop those off at Thomas. Who knows? I might want to play New Game Plus on this character one of these days.
We are indebted to you, for you fight on our behalf.
Sorry, Thomas, didn't mean to cut you off there.
I hear a voice of yore. The Old One is calling for thee. Let us proceed below to its lair.
Old One, I have brought thee what thou wishest, thy new demon. Come now, be good. Let us proceed below to its lair.
You keep saying that after we've already done it. Anyway, as with our last run through the game, this final battle is really little more than a formality. But it never hurts to be prepared.
You have been chosen by the Old One. Shalt thou seek everlasting demon souls, or obey that naive monumental? Whatever your choice, you are our first visitor. May you be welcome here.
Also, while I was charging up the ultimate flame cannon, I realized I had not put on my ring of magical sharpness for the False King fight. Ah well, I don't think we would have one-shot him anyway.
Surely you have seen for yourself pain and suffering that fills this world. The fight poison with poison. God is merciful, and so created the Old One. The Old One will feed upon our souls and put an end to our tragic realm of existence.
I'm getting a little tired of your nonsense. I think it's high time we put an end to the true form of the once King Alant in the only way we really could.
Understand, no one wishes to go on.
Why yes, I nearly did die to True King Alant. Now that would have been embarrassing.
Thine work is done. Slayer of demons, go back above. The Nexus shall imprison thee no longer. I shall lull the Old One back to slumber.
You know, I have to admit, I'm feeling the familiar pangs of a certain temptation. Nah.
My thanks. At last, my duty is fulfilled.
Glad I could help.
The Old One, along with the Maiden, were swept back into the lulling fog. Boletaria was spared from the demons, but also lost its knowledge of soul arts. The souls lost during the pandemonium were never retrieved. And today, the unstable world has another monumental to hold its fabric together. A brave new hero of unprecedented power.
drawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. This is the Nexus. It holds together the northern land of Boletaria. Thou canst not exit the Nexus, but each of the 5 archstones will connect them to
There's Archivo. And you probably noticed there that we also got the Maiden in Black's Demon Soul. You feel an enormously strong power. This would be quite the filling snack if you decided to eat it, but it can also be used to trade with Yoria when you get her for the spell Soul Sucker, which is the same thing Mephisto tries to use on you that sucks out a level. It will kill any non-boss enemy in one hit, and NPCs, I don't remember offhand how effective it is on them, but yeah, any non-boss is just gonna go down instantly when soul sucked. I'll have to check on what it does in PvP as well. I'll put that up in a notation. But the important thing is, friends, Demon Souls. This was definitely sort of a proto-version of the Soul series, and the Soul series, of course, didn't really blow up until the next game, but I think they already had something really special here. You can see the skeleton. There are a few things that didn't quite take. Carry weight was unpleasant, and world tendency was kind of a mess, but yeah, this was great shit, and there would be even greater things to come for From Software and Hidetaka Miyazaki. Well then, friends, I hope you've enjoyed sharing the tale of how Side Salad saved Boletaria and became a monumental. It's boring work, but the pay's not bad and the benefits are outstanding. As for Salad Prime, she still hasn't been feeling quite right. A little bit of the evil's just lingering on. Too much time spent in the colorless deep fog, I suppose. So she decided to vacation, get a little R&R in a quaint little town called Yarnum. But that's another story. Thank you very much for watching, and it has been a pleasure as always. Take care, and I will see you next series. But for now, that's game, Hendrix. Today's blazing heroism has been brought to you by Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Frank Grizzy, Tim J., Lolo De Puzzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Mechasaurus, DG Jono, Doug Russell, Dodecalope, Jorogue, Martin Shallotmakers, Mayo the Hedgefox, Hildegard Argelmach, IGV, Jazel, Joseph Hall, Dan Larson, K. Ivan Rupert, Tiny Shopkeeper, Charlie Dunst, Kigoskia, Kobo4231, Yuka Takeuchi Fan, Chaotic Narrative, Mystery Accent, Lakota, Meiyan Ling, Renaman, Fate Everywhere, TJA, Sparkaziah Lefzer, Super Pervert 69, and other monumental patrons. Thank you for your generous, ever-helpful support. It really does so much to keep the lights on here at I Played a Thing HQ. Subscribers, commenters, everyone, I'm so glad you're here too. Salad's journeys are far from over, but I think we'll kick back with something a little less soulsy next turn of the wheel. Till then, be good to you, take her easy for all us sinners, and I'll be seeing you real soon. Hello out there, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've had a good time, and I've been glad to have you. If you enjoyed this video, new subscribers always brighten my day, and if you really dig my stuff and would like to support me on Patreon, I shall be very grateful indeed. You're also invited to go with the stream every Friday at twitch.tv/unplayedathing. Thank you again, and have a good one.